Hi guys, it's finally 60 degrees out. We're gonna play trucks and things today. We're gonna fire up the old C10 parts truck here, get that fired up, moved it around. But first, my old black Dodge here, I wanna fix the flat I had on it, put a tire on it. I had a flat, didn't hold up, so I've got another wheel. And the ground is super wet, but I got it, I think, where it's gonna go. Is this the right size? Yep. Look at that. I had these Ram Charger wheels I put on here, or at least one of them, but it only held air for a day. That's no good. So I got a 31 10.5 throwing on another rim that'll fit 5 on 5.5. Boom. We're not ready to rescue this guy just yet, but I want it sitting up on 4 tires that hold air just so it doesn't sink into oblivion. So I got this guy, 31 10.5 BF Goodrich all-terrain, boom, on an aluminum Ford van wheel, which will be good enough. Oh, look what we got going on here. Brakes, yep, shock, springs, things, it's all in there. Sway bar, bam. So we're gonna get this guy going in I don't know, a month or so once the weather gets nice. Put a carburetor on it, get a fuel system, battery, get it fired up, get it mobile. Then it's just gonna be a fun project. Ooh, that's great. Just scraped all the corrosion into the lug nuts. But lug studs, that's good for it. We're just gonna get it up and running. It came with some floor pans. If I can slam them in, just so it's got a floor. Get it running, get it driving, get the plow on it for next year for plow season in the wintertime. But for now, I want it to sit on 4 tires that hold air. I got it propped up on these pieces of wood just so it doesn't sink in the yard, because there was a lot of snow and ice and now the ground is starting to thaw and everything is super wet and nasty, and this thing would sink right in the ground without it. So, and I think I'm going to run I have a set of 31 10.5 general all-terrains that are similar tread pattern to this that I'm going to run on this permanently. They're on my AMC Eagle right now, just in storage, but I got them at the junkyard a couple years ago for like $100, and they've got about half tread, and for a plow truck they should be good snow tires, and I could put chains on the back if I have to, but I don't think I'm going to need to do that. But yeah, 31 10.5. So this thing looks, it doesn't have a lift kit, but it sits kind of high, so there should be plenty of room to clear, and it'll look good on 31s. Oh look, freewheeling, baby. Boom, look at that. Now we're back in business. I sunk the jack in the mud the first time I tried this. That wasn't good. Bam, that looks awesome. And save on my plywood. I have a chrome step bumper here in the storage box here to go on the back of the truck. This came in my other Chevy truck project, but it'll go right back on the Dodge. We'll have a chrome step bumper again. And yeah, this thing will sit on 31s. It'll look pretty tough, pretty sweet. So I think it's on 30s right now. You see, there's still some ice and stuff here. Yeah, it came with well, 715s, which are probably about a 29, 30-inch tire. So we'll put her up on 31s when we get around to building it. But for now, it's got a set of these aftermarket aluminum wheels that came on my 88 Dodge van when I first got that. So at least we got 4 wheels and tires that hold air now. And this thing can just chill here. Like I said, we'll get it out. I'm gonna move it when it gets to mowing season, obviously I'm gonna have to mow under it, so I'll get it going there. But it's got about a month before the grass starts to grow here, a couple of weeks anyways. Today the main focus of trucks and things is to get the old C10 parts truck here fired up. This is a truck I bought originally that I was going to restore and shorten the frame, make it into a step side. I got that step side box off the face base, and originally you see this is medium red and somebody painted it horribly brown. They put cab corners and rocker panels in it really bad. The rockers hit the doors. The cab corners are full of filler. You can see where they just overlapped it all the way around. All full of filler here, up in here. But then the worst part was I took the glass out of it and completely rotted out across the top and rotted out in the dash. And the roof was pretty much ruined and all the work that had to be done to the cab. When I pulled the, nope, we're not gonna fix this one card on this truck, and this turned into the parts truck. It'll give up the drivetrain, the wiring harness, the dash, the grill, the bumper, or the grill, you know, all the miscellaneous mechanical parts. And I bought that other truck, the short box truck, or truck that came with a short box frame, and we won't need to shorten this one anymore, but we'll use this box. But what I want to do is get this fired up, should run, drive around up top. I want to swap the wheels off it, put the wheels on the truck in the garage, because I don't want to get paint and primer overspray on the aluminum wheels that are on that right now. We'll swap the wheels around. I want to get the fenders off the box here. I'm going to sell these square body step side fenders. I think I did that by accident, that little ding there, but these are really nice shape, the step sides and the fenders. I'm going to sell them. I got some swap meets coming up. They're pretty much rust free, got a little bit of surface rust in the very back, but they're really nice shape. Otherwise, one or two tiny little dings. The tailgate's like brand new. They repop these, but they're a couple $100 with the Chevrolet logo. This is factory boxes in '85, I believe. But the tailgate's like brand new. Actually, it's been Z-barded. You can see these drill holes where they sprayed goo inside it, but it's straight, nice, original paint. So I'm going to get an aftermarket tailgate because I need to louver this center section, and the aftermarket tailgates come with these blanked out, and that's what I need to have happen to be able to louver it. So I'll just buy an aftermarket tailgate for like $150 or whatever they are. And I bet I can get close to $150 for this factory one that's like brand new. Yeah, just a couple scratches and dings, but it's somebody had wanted to do a patina truck and have original paint. This thing is like mint. So I'll pull those off, pull off the factory taillight brackets, and sell them. So somebody's got a square body, late 70s up to 87. This is the fenders. Like this being an 85, it's got the fenders with the square fuel door. The earlier ones, I think they had just a flush fit, like round cap in there, but this guy's got the fuel door in it because it was off the 85. But ought to be a market for those to get them sold. So that'll get me some money back. There's one little ding in this one right here. But other than that, they're pretty nice. I paid $1,000 for this box, but I'm hoping to get about, complete, but I'm hoping to get about $400 back, $400 or $500 back out of the fenders and the tailgate, and then we'll go from there. But I've got the original hood to this truck, which is rusted in here, which I gotta get out. Oh, there's both the fenders and some tires, but the hood is rotted across the front and it's rotted on the inside. I'm just gonna save it for parts. I got the original fenders, which are both got filler in them and pinholes. I'll just save them in my pile of action. So we're gonna empty that out. We'll also uncover this guy. The old 256 is in there with a jerry can and a fuel system and a battery. It should fire up and run and drive, and we'll pull around up front and we'll see if we can get those fenders off. I don't if you can see it. There's a bunch of mesh and body filler where they plugged up a bunch of holes. It's got a rot hole here. It's got rot here in the corners where it hits the hood bumpers on both sides. I think I'm going to use this one maybe as the practice hood to louver, or my buddy Dylan's going to help me louver. We might just go right on the good hood, but you know, you could fix this hood if you wanted to. It would just need like the inner brace. It's all rotted out. It needs a bunch of work, so I'm just going to save it as a parts hood, I guess. I bought fenders for this truck because body filler in here, they all rot out in the bottom. That one's been rotted and fixed, but the big problem with these truck fenders is they get rust up along this upper edge because it's real hard to, it was probably bare metal in there, and it's all full of pinholes all the way down through here. Other than that, the fender is pretty straight. Actually might have filler in it down here a little bit, but it doesn't look like it, I guess. But unfortunately, it's kind of a tough place to fix. You'd have to cut a lot of this out and weld new metal in, then you're gonna have filler all down the top of it. I end up finding a new old stock fender for the passenger side that I'm using. And then I got a brand new AMD fender for the driver's side. So I'm just gonna throw this in the stash of junk, but they're pretty much not in there. They're starting to rust here. They're pretty much not worth nothing. Then maybe 20 bucks if somebody wants some beater fenders. I might take them to the swap meet and try to offload them maybe. But who wants rusty truck fenders? I know I don't. Driver's side, same thing. Rust hole up here. It's starting to, this one's a little bit better, but then it had more rust on the front edge. This is all bubbled and filler and rusty down here. And then I think it's got filler on the back edge. Yeah, on this side it's got filler on the back edge there. So rusty junk. What we got in here? Oh, it's funny, as nice as this bed is, the wood is completely shot in it. So I don't know if it had a sheet of plywood on top of the wood that caused the rot or whatever. Like the box has got no rust in it whatsoever, but except for surface rust. But the wood floor rotted right away. You can buy these wood kits. They're very expensive. I think with the stainless steel strips, they're like $500 or $600. What I'll probably do to save money is I'll probably just make a floor out of pressure treated plywood and just take the strips and paint them, or get new strips, but bolt the plywood down and just use the strips to mimic the look, because this is going to be a work truck. So it's going to be a nice driver, but stuff is going to be put in a box, and I don't see any reason to spend $500 or $600 for a hardwood floor kit that is going to get all trashed, you know, throwing stuff in the back of it. So I'm going to save a little bit of money there and just use a sheet of 3/4 inch plywood, probably paint it black, just so it's doesn't get faded in the weather, you know, or whatever. But other than that, and it needs new strips. The strips are pitted. You can buy the strips pretty reasonable, so we'll do something with that. Okay, I uncovered the truck here, and I put a little some gas in our fuel system that goes right to the fuel tank. I got my battery cutoff switch, which I can turn on. Boom, now we should be hot. We got the 3 on the tree, got the ignition stick in there, so let's see if she'll fire up. I got a nice wooden box to sit next to the hole in the floor. And oh, there's the clutch. Put her in neutral. Come on, baby. There we go, baby. I don't believe it, but I got to. I hear it. thing is running like a Swiss watch. Here we go. Oh yeah. This thing's awesome. Oh, don't tear up the yard. This is awesome. Brakes work. Why are we taking this truck apart? It works just fine. Old 6s humming right along here. Boom, how about that? Not bad for sitting for 5 months. She's a runner. This radiator's a little worse for wear. I'm gonna get welded aluminum radiator for this thing. It's like a single row little guy in there, but it did run good. So yeah, doesn't take nothing to get this old guy running. So I got some strap steel here to hold the core support so it doesn't crash into the fan. The core support is rotted out, that's why I bought a new one. But the wiring harness is all intact and everything. The truck, I did originally put this truck on the road and drove it around a little bit. Just up and down the road a few times. And everything was copacetic with it. Everything worked except for the fuel gauge pretty much. But as you can see, it's pretty scaly. I was going to have to get the frame sandblasted and put all new suspension on it and stuff like that, which I have lowering suspension for it. But we've got the other truck, which came with a restored chassis, so save some time there. This engine's going to come out. I'm going to put a valve cover gasket on it, maybe an oil pan gasket. I can't remember. It seemed like it was kind of weepy, but I doubt the truck's going to stay 6-cylinder forever. I'll probably end up putting a small block in it, or maybe my 5.3 LS, but probably just a 350 small block. I've got a 78 4-bolt truck motor I could put in it, switch over from a 3-speed to a 5-speed, and run it as a V8. Like my dad's truck had a 350 in it, so eventually it would be a 350 truck. But right now the old 250 should run fine. Somebody swapped in a Chinesium HEI into it. This truck would have been points originally. So it's got an HEI thrown in there out of a newer, the newer trucks had HEIs. But it doesn't seem to smoke. It doesn't seem to make any rattles. It had good oil pressure when I had the oil pressure gauge on it. Fires right up, runs good. So do a little tune-up action, throw some plug wires at it and stuff like that. Air cleaner. It's got a rebuilt or a reman or a brand new knockoff carburetor on it with a whole bunch of plugged off vacuum lines. But it fires right up and runs on it. So I don't see any reason to spend the money on building a 350 for it right now when I can throw the 6-cylinder in it and just run it as a 6-cylinder truck for a while. And I kind of like the 3 on the tree. Is super awesome. I think my dad's truck was originally on the tree, and then he ended up putting a 4-speed T10 on the floor. So when I do the 350 swap, I'll put in, I have a Camaro 5-speed. I'll put a Camaro 5-speed behind it, and then it'll be just like my dad's truck on the floor. But for now, I'm going to be 3 on the tree guy. I did have the linkage bind up on me one time, get jammed up in 3rd gear. So when we take this all apart, we'll take a look at the linkage and see if it needs some action on it here. Kind of there, coming through the column, but it's going to be is what it is for now. I'm not quite ready to pull this apart yet. Like I said, I want to swap the wheels and tires off it. I want to get the fenders off the box. Maybe even take the box right off it after I get the fenders off. I want to leave it running and driving as much as possible, and then when it's actually time in like another month or so, when the truck in the garage is painted, when the cab's painted, then I can roll that outside, bring this in, we'll blow this apart, pull all the drivetrain out of it, rolled out, get rid of the cut the cab up because it's junk, get rid of that, scrap that out, save the rolling chassis. Like I said, I need my other video. The black Dodge needs frame rails in the back, and this frame's pretty scaly in the front, but the back is okay. Somebody had painted it along the way when they had the box off it. So I'm going to use these rear frame rails to fix my Dodge, even though they're Chevy rails. They'll weld up under there and rehang the leaf springs on the Dodge, so I can reuse that. Pretty much the rest of it is junk. I need the transmission cross member out of this. The truck in the garage doesn't have one for some reason. But all these control arms and stuff are like really pitted. All this suspension's worn out and stuff. The rear springs are shot. The thing leans real bad on the one side. So nothing really good left on this frame after I use the rear rails. I think the frame might even have a twist to it because it sat so crooked when I originally got it. But I think it's a coil spring, so one spring is shot. But it's... it'll have some parts here to get us on the road with the other truck, with the blue truck. This turned into a parts truck, but in a complete wiring harness, drivetrain, and stuff like that will be good to go. Plus the glass that came out of it and stuff like that. So turned into a parts truck, but you always, when you're doing trucks, it always takes 1, 2, 3 trucks to do them. I got 2.5 trucks worth of parts, and when I did my brown Dodge over there, that took 5 Dodges to put it back together. 5. All right, it started raining, so I had to cover the truck up and put the hood just kind of on it, but I got the wheel off. This just got like those 80s Chevy rally wheels on it here, but we pulled them on off. You can see this truck is a disc brake truck. It's got the huge rotors on there, actually newer pads. So when I part this out, I'm going to save the spindles because they're disc brake spindles, 71 to 72 on up, are disc brake spindles if you got disc brakes. So we got that off. Got these wheels here. These are 90s aluminum Chevy truck wheels. So I don't want to get, I'm going to sell these eventually. I don't want to get overspraying stuff on them with this truck. We're with the truck in the garage. So we're going to throw them on here. Using for some rollers. Can't see nothing. These are 31s, we gotta go a little higher. There we go. Boom. Put some nasty, rusty lug nuts right on there. Well, these fit these wheels all right. You know what? I'm going to go get the lug nuts from inside that were on these wheels. Because these chrome jobbers, I don't know if they're going to fit the wheels right. I'm going to go get the lug nuts from inside. And of course, the lug nuts are different size. They're 3/4 instead of 13/16. And truck in there, I took the caps off. There's only 2 lug nuts on each wheel. So I found a couple more, so I can throw 3 on each wheel here, since we got all the weight on it right now. I mean, I guess 2 would be all right, but 3 is going to be better than... 3 will be better than nothing. How's that? Boom! Got it. There we go. So let me rip the other ones off. I'm not going to change the back out right now. For one thing, because I want to take the wheels off the back of my van, which have brand new tires on them, and they're dual bolt pattern wheels, which will fit the Chevy truck. And I want to put those wheels on the back of the C10 in the garage. Because they're probably the wheels I'm going to start driving it around with until I find the right wheels. I mean, the tires are brand new. I'm going to buy 2 more matching tires. But right now they're mounted up on wheels, but I can't take them off my van until I get my van tires swapped over to another set of wheels that I want to run on the back of that. So I think we'll just throw the 2 on the front for now. They're closer to the primer. And then we'll leave these 2 guys on the back. They're also full of mud. So we'll do 2 for now, and we'll do 2 for later. Here's my boogie van. These are the wheels I was talking about. I threw these on for Hershey last year. Got some Goodyear Wranglers on there, 235, 75, 15. That's the size I'm going to run on the truck. And these are just on steel aftermarket wheels that are dual bolt pattern. They're 5 on 5.5 and 5 on 5. So these will bolt onto the back of the C10 truck on the 5 on 5 bolt pattern here. And I'm going to get another, these are the tires I'm going to run on the truck all the way around when I get my slot mags. But for now, I can just run these black steelies on the back until they'll save me some money on buying rims right away. I'll just run those. I've got my Cooper Cobras that go on the back of the van. These are 255 60s in the front, and they're pretty wide for the 7-inch rims. Now on the rear, I got 275 series tires, which are super wide, and that's why this past year for Hershey, I wanted to run some truck tires on the proper width rim, so those 7-inch rims, and those tires fit them good, because I was super nervous about bending way over the sidewall in those 275s and having a load in the van and blowing a tire. So that's why I put these on for last year. But springtime's coming up here. I'm going to put my street tires back on. I think I'm going to change the wheels on the van. I'm running these Dodge Ram Charger aluminum like vector style mags, and they're all right. They're pretty cool, but they're only 15x7s right from the factory, and you can't do any other thing with them. I got a set of chrome chrome smoothie rims. They're actually the same wheels as these, except in chrome, and they're a lot wider. I got some 8s for the back and 7s for the front, but they got a similar deal here. It takes a chrome center cap, but the wheels are all chrome, and they've got a little bit wider action on them. So I'll probably mount up the Cooper Cobras on the chrome wheels and run the chrome rims all the way around. Just change the look of the van up a little bit. I also have some super wide wagon wheels, like white wagon wheels that I think are 15x10s. That would be like super cool on the back, and those tires would really fit those rims good. I mean, they would hang way out like a custom 70s van. I'm not a wagon wheel fan at all, the white, so I probably would have to get them sandblasted and paint them like a gray or some kind of contrasting color, maybe like a silver metallic, something like that. Back in the day, you really didn't see a lot of, you either saw the wagon wheels in white or you saw, chrome wheels. You didn't really see painted steel wheels on the vans that much back in the day. I mean, some needed, but so I thought about going that route too, which would be kind of cool. It's kind of windy over there. Hold on a minute. Let's get out of the wind there. So I thought about maybe doing a set of the wagon wheels, really widen the wheels out like that, but I don't know. Then I have to spend even more money. The chrome rims will probably be fine. They're dual bolt patterns, so I can run, they'll fit that just like that one. They got the 5 and 5.5 inch pattern on the back. So I might switch all my tires over to the chrome ones and run the chrome ones for the season. See how I like it, but they'll be wider and they'll take the rear tire better than a 7-inch rim. The extra inch will help. That's what she said. So I think that's the plan. So anyways, I'm going to wait a week or two, get them mounted up on different rims, and then get those black wheels off and put them on the back of the truck here in the garage. Let's throw these guys on here. I put a little anti-seize on my threads and my rotors, even though the wheels still look like these rotors look like they're new. I want to pull, the lug nuts are nasty, so can't see what I'm doing at all. Get out. There we go. Boom. Not going to win any records for tire changing here like NASCAR. Here we go. Yes, these lug nuts. My nuts are nasty. That's also what she said. Oh! But it is what it is. Good enough for what we're doing here. These tires, unfortunately, have like brand new tread, but they are severely dry rotted, so they are not good. I ran the older truck around town for a couple of weeks. Or not, well, I shouldn't say around town. I drove it to the dump a couple of times and did some other stuff with it. I never really drove it on the road before I started tearing into it. And then immediately realized that it was junk, so that was the end of that. So it doesn't really have any road miles at all. I knew it needed tires anyways. I just was driving it around, like I said, down to the dump and back, and around the block on the back roads just for fun. But these tires are junk. They hold air, but they're junk. You can't. Not safe for road. And we'll have 5 lug nuts on here. That'll be awesome. Did I get them all? Got them. So let me throw the other guy on. I'll set this down. And then I want to jack up the back of the truck. I got a feeling when I was pushing this thing around, it acts like somebody put a Lincoln or a lunchbox locker in it, one of the little ones you put in where the spider gears go, because it seems like both tires want to spin. So let's jack it up and try that out. And I want to spin it, see if we can figure out what the gear ratio is. Got the rear end jacked up here, and let's see if we can count the pinion. I got my piece of cardboard laid on there for. There we go. Let's see that there. See, it's clunking and it's turning both wheels. So I'm going to start right here on the C on Michelin. Oh, there's 2 C's on Michelin. Oh, I'm going to start right here on the wheel weight facing up. There we go. And we're going to go start turning. We're going to go 1 revolution. We're down here with the weight. We're going to go 2 revolutions. We're down here with the weight. We're going to go 3 revolutions. We're over here with the weight. And then let's see if we can get both of them into shot. Let's go 3. Yeah, about there is where it started, and I'm almost all the way around. That's 3 3/4 revolutions. So we got ourselves a 373 rear axle ratio, which I figured it probably was. So that's pretty buzzy for the highway. But as you can see, when I spin the tires, they both turn forward. So either we got factory positive traction in this truck, which is possible, or somebody put a locker in it. I'll probably get a gasket for the diff cover and take it off and just see what it looks like in there and see what it is. Okay, it got dark out. It started raining a little bit, so I had to shut her down out there, and now it's is that a dead fly on top of my door? Come on now, the flies better go away. Now we're back inside here. So I got the wheels down. Just for measuring purposes, the 235, 75, 15, height-wise, at least this one, with almost new tread, is 28 inches tall. And this rear tire, which is a 30, I think it's a 31, 10.5, which measures out to 30 inches tall. But it's worn down pretty ways, so it's probably close to 31 when it was new. So drop the front of the truck an inch, just by putting that size tire on. And this is the size tire I'm going to run, which you might be thinking like, oh, you're going to lower the truck. This truck's going to be lowered, I think, 4 in the front and 5 in the back. You're going to be, it's still a pretty tall tire, but it's going to look pretty cool with the tucked look of the big tire. And I don't have a thing to show you, but my dad's truck, which I'm cloning here, this is stock height, and he's got 60 series tires on it, so they're pretty short. Sidewall wise, and you can see the huge gap between the wheels and tires. Later on, he lowered this truck 4 inches all the way around, which I have pictures of, just not out here. And he had equivalent of probably a 235 75 on it. He had an early radial, or probably still a G, or not a G, but a letter size tire, but it will look like an early radial, but they're pretty tall sidewall. And when you lower it with a tall sidewall, the tires really fit the wheel wells pretty good. So I'm going to stick with the 235 75 15, but the truck will be lowered. So actually the fender will be like close here. So it'll really fill up the fender well and give that truck that low appearance. So right now this thing is way up in the air, obviously because of no weight in it with no engine transmission, and then it's got the big tires on the back. So this truck's probably going to go down probably 6 inches, and the top of the roof will end up being here. It'll be pretty low without, you know, I'm not going to run the big inch wheels like everybody now does these trucks, and they put like 20-inch wheels on them and stuff like that. I don't think they, well, it's a modern look, but I'm going for an 80s look that my dad had, so I'll have the big 235/75 tall sidewall tires on it. But it'll ride nice. It's with the 373 rear end gears, with the 6-cylinder and the 3 on the tree. I believe this truck, I don't know what engine was in this thing originally, but I believe it probably was a 6-cylinder 3 on the tree as well, because it's got the standard shift bracket on the frame here for the clutch. And I think it's got, yeah, it's got the pretty tall mounts, so it look like the 6-cylinder mounts on the frame. I'm not an expert, it's body filler dust. I'm not an expert on these trucks at all, but it's got that. It's got the single exhaust hanger over here for a driver's side tailpipe. So I'm going to guess that this truck was a 6-cylinder 3 on the tree truck as well, with the 373 gears in it, probably with a 350, a 305 or a 350 or 307 or whatever it would have had. You probably would have had like a 308 gear maybe, I would have guessed, with the V8. So this will be a screamer going down the road. I'm not going to be running down the thruway at 70 miles an hour. It's going to be 60 miles an hour. It's going to be wound out. But like I said, in the future, I plan on pulling the 6 out, and I've got under that blue tarp over there. Oh, the Poseidon Adventure's on. Under that blue tarp, I've got a 78 350 4-bolt main truck block, complete truck long block, that I'm going to take and get rebuilt. Just real simple rebuild, 30 over, and put a cam in it and stuff like that. And put that in the truck eventually, probably in like, I don't know, maybe next year or the year after, I don't know, depending on finances and stuff and getting to drive around. But put in a small block. My dad's truck, we'll go back over here. This truck, I don't know if it was a 6-cylinder originally or a V8 truck. He had a 70, his truck's a 72, but he put in a 70 350 that was rebuilt, and or I don't know if it was bored, but it had a cam and stuff in it, and he put that in here. You can see the headers. It's got square bolt headers or square fan headers, and then some kind of turbo muffler, and this pipes came out under the steps of the step side. But it had a 7350 with a 650 Holly, and then a T10 4-speed on the floor. So I bet that truck was originally a 6-cylinder 3-speed truck as well, I'm going to guess. So anyways, like I was saying, I'm going to run the 6 with a 3 on the tree for a while, driving around. And I kind of like the 6 and I like the 3 on the tree, but it'll be a screamer on the highway. So I have a Camaro T5 out of like an 83 or 4, probably V6 Camaro, I'm going to guess, but it's a T5. And I have a Chevy bell housing, like a truck bell housing down in the pole barn. So I could put a 350 in it, put a flywheel on it, put the truck bell housing. You know, the back of the engine's way back here, and the Camaro T5 is long, so the shifter would probably be back in here. Like if you had a 4-speed, the shifter would probably come over here somewhere. So it'll be back here, but I'm going to run bucket seats in this and stuff. There'll be room to snake a shifter out. So I can probably slap the 5-speed in it, no problem. And then the 373 gears would be fine with the 5-speed, because you'd have the overdrive, so it would knock it down to probably like a 340 rear end gear with the overdrive. So that'd be way more tolerable and have a good small block behind it. So that's the over end goal right now, is just to get the truck painted, assembled, running, driving, usable, have some fun with it. We're gonna lower it and stuff like that before we get too carried away here, but put it all together, just drive it as a 6-cylinder 3 on a tree truck. And if I like it, I don't know the history of the engine in the other truck. If it's tired, it seems to run okay, started right up, and it's got a carburetor, but how many miles are on it, who knows. And is what it is. But I don't need everything to be a highway cruiser. This could be a around town truck and going to town rig, and it'd be fun. But we also have the option to put in the motor. So I'm going to plan ahead. I'm going to buy a nice welded aluminum radiator, like a thick one, that would be good for the 6 and good for a small block, and set it up. Well, pretty much that's the only thing would have to change would be the Maybe changing the drive shaft, putting the T5 in the drive shaft might length have to change, but everything else should bolt right in. Probably put out a set of like block hugger headers, run it down, run duals, come out both sides just like my dad's truck, and it'd be real easy to put a small block in it later. But for now, got $0 left because broke the budget building it, and we're just going to soldier on. So I think the next video we're going to see is priming all these body filler spots, do some blocking on the primer, prime the thing again, block it, and then we're going to shoot the blue on it. So this thing is going to start snowballing pretty fast here the next month. Unfortunately, I need to put a roof on my house, and that's going to cut into my old truck time fixing, but I really got to put a roof on my house big time. It's severely shot, and I'm booked out April and May time frame to give me time to work on the roof. So maybe I can work on the roof in the daylight and work on the truck in the dark. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, plan to get blue on this thing in April sometime when the warmer weather gets here. Get it blue, blow that other truck apart, drop the drivetrain in it, the wiring harness, get it running around here. We'll drop that in, we'll lower it. We'll probably finish the truck from here forward first, do all the suspension brakes, lower it, put the front clip together, paint it all, get the front of the truck going, and then we'll concentrate on finishing the box last and go from there, because that's not going to be that big of a deal. We can just put it, paint, we can do all the work on the box and the fenders and then stick it on the truck whenever we get to it. And the nice part about these trucks is the fuel tank is in the cab, you know, where you need the fuel, right behind the seat. You can always hear if it's running out or nothing because it's sloshing right behind you. And it's not that dangerous. Just don't get like T-boned by a semi. You'll be fine. Don't worry about a little bit of fire in the cab. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So anyways, you can run the truck with nothing on the back, because everything that makes it work is in the cabin forward. So it works great. I mean, you've seen it out there. The other truck, all you need is a little jerry can on the cowl, and you can run the thing anywhere you want. So no doors, no seats, nothing. Run it. No fenders, no hood. You don't need all that. Like a dune buggy. All right, I got to go. We'll see you guys next time here playing of old trucks at the Quick Speed Shop.